Here's the result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He gets a C+. plus. This guy is rather so-so. Not too good, not too bad. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's more likely to impress people with clever words and organized thinking than with actual achievements. While he may come across as smart and knows how to keep everything neat and proper, his energy to push ahead and work hard isn't very strong. You'll hear ambitious ideas from him, but don't expect to see great leaps in his career.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When trouble comes at work, he will stay calm and steady, not easily panicking or getting angry, but he isn't one to feel much for others or show lots of warmth. He won't run away from problems and he'll stick with them until they're sorted, even if it takes a while. He'll keep his cool, pick up the pieces, and carry on, but without much feeling.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
He's usually respected for being smart, well organized, and polite. So most people at work won't have fights with him. He isn't friendly or warm, but he isn't rude either. He keeps things proper and sticks to what's right. People trust him to do things the correct way, but he's not the one they go to when they need comfort or cheer.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you shine in your career, he will stick to being polite and proper about it, but deep down, he might feel uneasy. He's used to wanting things done his way and having control. So, your big success could make him feel overshadowed or even a little jealous. He won't try to hold you back, but true pride and joy for you may be missing.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he might not openly show hurt feelings, but inside it could bother him quite a bit. He believes strongly in his own way of doing things and likes to have control. So your higher earnings may quietly unsettle him. Sometimes he may drop polite but pointed comments or act distant when the topic comes up.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He's quite careful with money and likes to keep things organized and in order. You won't see him wasting money or making impulsive purchases. He prefers planning and sticking to budgets. He won't splurge on gifts or surprises. So expect him to make practical choices.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives within his means and doesn't pretend to be richer than he actually is. He's practical and prefers things to be well planned and orderly, so you won't find him showing off or trying to impress people with expensive things he can't afford. Things are simple and honest with him, and he values comfort over flashy displays.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is quite tight with both money and his mindset. He won't easily spend on things that aren't necessary, and when it comes to helping others, he keeps a strict boundary. Kindness isn't his strongest trait, so expect him to be proper and polite, but not very open hearted.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He's open and straightforward about money, preferring things to be clear and properly managed. You won't find him hiding expenses or being sneaky about where the money goes. He likes everything in its place and will share details when asked. You can rely on him to be honest, even if he's a bit rigid about how things should be handled.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is likely to believe that housework should be done properly, but he might think it's mostly the woman's job. He has strong opinions about how things should be kept neat and organized, so he will expect the home to be run in a certain way. You may find yourself doing most of the chores unless you clearly discuss and agree on sharing them.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is the type who often prefers to supervise rather than roll up his sleeves and pitch in with chores or diapers. He'll make sure things are done right, sometimes pointing out what needs fixing rather than just quietly helping out. You might hear advice instead of getting real hands on help.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He is mostly focused on showing that his way is the right way. So, in disagreements, he often argues to prove his point rather than listening deeply to your side. While he'll stay polite and not shout, you may feel like your feelings or ideas aren't truly being considered. You might have to repeat yourself or work extra hard to get him to understand your view.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he stays respectful and doesn't lash out with cruel words or aggressive actions. He keeps his emotions under control and won't yell or make a scene, even if he strongly disagrees. Instead, he might use calm but pointed remarks to push his view or show his disappointment.
Does he have a bad temper?
He isn't someone who gets angry quickly. His temper is steady and slow to rise. You won't find him exploding over small things or losing control often. Instead, he handles annoyances with calm and prefers to solve problems in an orderly way.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it difficult to admit when he's wrong or offer a genuine apology. Instead of simply saying sorry, he might try to explain his actions or shift the focus back to how he thinks things should be done. Blaming you won't be loud or direct, but you may feel it in his words and attitude.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is likely to respect your boundaries and understand that no means no, especially since he values rules and keeps things proper. He won't force you or ignore what you say if you set a clear limit. You won't need to worry about him crossing lines or making you feel unsafe.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
He's not likely to take it personally or get upset if you're not in the mood for intimacy. He keeps his emotions in check and prefers to handle things calmly and respectfully. However, he may not offer much comfort or try to understand your feelings behind your choice.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
You can trust him to handle private moments with care and not use them against you or try to embarrass you later. He values respect and keeping things proper, so he won't cross that line or play games with your trust. He keeps personal matters private and stays polite, so you can feel safe sharing yourself with him.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is more likely to be faithful and not easily distracted by other women. He values order, routines, and sticking to what's proper. So he's not the type to chase after temptation or break trust. Women outside the relationship don't usually catch his eye as he prefers stability and clear boundaries.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He isn't usually over possessive, jealous, or suspicious. He likes to keep things organized and wants things done a certain way, but he doesn't let emotions like jealousy get out of control. His way is more about routines and proper behavior than emotional drama.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, with him, what looks like a protective nature often comes from wanting to keep things under his control rather than true care or concern. He likes things done his way and prefers sticking to routines and rules, so his protection can feel more like setting boundaries or telling you how things should be. Over time, this could make you feel watched or pushed into following his methods.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He's likely to expect you to do most of the parenting work, especially when it comes to daily care or emotional support for the kids. He believes in things being proper and orderly, so he might step in when rules or routines are involved, but he won't naturally treat parenting as a shared team effort. His help may come with lots of advice and supervision rather than hands on support.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will stay calm rather than lose his temper. He's not likely to yell or make a big scene over mistakes. Instead, he'll keep his cool and handle the situation in a steady, controlled way. He'll keep the atmosphere safe even if emotional warmth is sometimes missing.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He will respect your role as a mother and expect you to fulfill it properly, but he may not always recognize or support your need to be your own person. He's focused on routines, order, and rules, so family responsibilities often come first in his mind. If independence matters to you, you'll have to speak up clearly and make space for yourself.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, this is the kind of man who might support your career at first, but later expect you to put family and house first, especially after having a child. He values routines and traditional roles, so he may assume you'll naturally take on more home duties when the baby arrives. His support for your job is real while it fits into his idea of order, but don't be surprised if he pushes you to step back or quit, saying it's best for everyone. If your work and independence are important to you, talk openly before big changes come so you don't feel pressured or surprised down the road.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He will act polite on the surface but isn't likely to show real warmth to your parents. He respects proper behavior and manners, so you can expect him to greet them, follow customs, and avoid any open disrespect. The relationship will stay formal and correct, with kindness shown mostly through actions, not heartfelt words. He's more likely to expect your family to adjust to his ways rather than change himself to fit in.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will handle it calmly and won't make a scene or escalate conflicts. He prefers to keep everything in order and solve problems quietly, so you won't have to worry about yelling or drama. He'll stay respectful and polite, even if he's strict, so the situation won't get out of control.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is likely to be more modern with you in private, but expect you to act like a traditional supportive wife in front of his relatives. At home, he may support your choices and let you be yourself, but in front of family, he'll want you to follow customs, dress properly, and behave according to traditional standards. He believes in keeping up appearances and values routines, so fitting into family expectations is important to him.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he is likely to stay neutral or quietly side with his family's rules and traditions rather than openly support you. He won't jump into fights or cause drama. He'll prefer to keep things polite and smooth. His support exists, but it's careful and not always out loud or on your side.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He may not fit the classic mummy's boy image, but when there's a conflict with his mother, he's very likely to lean towards her side or avoid taking sides at all. His respect for order and family traditions makes it difficult for him to challenge his mother openly. You may feel frustrated if you're hoping he'll defend you strongly.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He usually keeps private matters and fights between you both rather than sharing every detail with his mother or sister. He values proper boundaries and respects rules about privacy. So you're unlikely to find him gossiping or exposing intimate problems to outsiders. This means your relationship will have a level of safety and trust when it comes to personal issues.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all of this analysis, this guy gets a C plus. This guy is so, not too good, not too bad, a bit mediocre. Day in and day out, being with him feels organized, predictable, and proper, but it can also feel strict and lacking in warmth. He'll make sure routines are followed, things run smoothly, and respect is always shown in the household.